Some of you were fighting so hard to hold on to an unhealthy relationship or an individual who just did not fit your life. Because I have to say this, sometimes it's not always about this individual is a bad person. They could be a good person, but not the right person for you. A good man, but not the right man for you. And if you are in the wrong relationship or with the wrong man, despite whether he's good, bad, or whatever, number one, I've seen good people go bad being in the wrong relationship. All right. Even for the woman, I've seen women that, again, they started off great, sweet, loving women, but they get with the wrong person. There's a quote that says, be mindful of getting with people who will drain your spirit. I'm saying it wrong. Forgive me. I forgot what the quote was. But the point is, I've seen people go in good, then eventually turn bad because, again, they're frustrated, they're resenting, they're being mistreated, and now they start to act out in ways where, from a distance, if you don't know the root and all the details of the situation, you're like, yo, they're horrible. But what you don't know is what they've dealt with this entire time. And yeah, we can say they should have just left, but again, for many reasons, people don't always just leave. But then it ends up becoming toxic, and that toxic corrupts them in many situations. The point is, though, good or bad, if they're not for you, it's still going to lead to problems. It can still derail you. It can still take you away from your purpose because they are not truly in alignment with you. All right. Not all distractions look bad on the surface. Sometimes they look like good, normal things, and yet they're still distracting you. They're still pulling you away. You have to be mindful of that. So back to the point of you needed to be cheated on. Yes, for some individuals, if not something drastic enough occurring, you just won't walk away. You just kept rationalizing, kept finding a reason to hold on. But it's like, yo, you did not belong there and you needed a good kick in the butt. Now, yes, it sucks to be cheated on, and I don't wish that on anybody, but it's just a reality. And again, this is where sometimes we have to look at that as the blessing in disguise in itself, because it helped you be set free. Like I said in the very beginning, sometimes you don't lose a relationship, you were set free from it. All right? But it's hitting my spirit, so I got to give this quick little story, then I'll move on to the next point. Speaking of being set free, I remember one time I was speaking to a woman. She was married. She was having problems with her marriage. And so it's a long story, but not to get into all the details. She was previously married. They got divorced. I always felt like I wasn't too sure about her getting that divorce, but that's what she wanted to do. That's what she decided. So be it. All right. She gets married to the second guy. The second guy, I felt deep down inside, this is not the man for you. But again, every adult has to make their own choice. I can't force anybody to choose differently, right? So she marries the man. Time goes on. She finds out the man had kids that she didn't know anything about, all this stuff. All right, but she's still trying to work it through. She comes to me, or, through this whole time, I know about these details. Now we're talking about it's getting real rough. I said, listen, I told her straight up, I don't believe this is the man for you. I've never believed this is the man for you. But I'm not going to just say to get a divorce. I want you to go pray and talk to God, okay? Ask God how he wants you to proceed. So she does that. She hits me back weeks later. She said, God said work on the marriage. Now, in my head, I'm like, man, I really don't think this is the man for her. But if she said God said work on the marriage, then by all means, you need to follow that. Cool. So months pass. Let's say 2 or 3 months pass. She hits me up again. She's like, oh, things have gotten better. I'm still skeptical, all right? I'm still like, this isn't adding up because I feel so strongly that this is not it. But I'm like, listen, she said it's better. They worked on it. Cool. The most important thing to me was she did what God wanted her to do. That's what matters, okay? Fast forward, her and her husband got into some argument. She comes home the next day. Man leaves to go be with his baby's mother, all right? And let me tell you, you just don't up and leave to go back to your baby's mother. That clearly was brewing for a minute. And the way that I always perceived that was, you know what? Just doing what God wants you to do even if it's working on a relationship, even if it's, putting your best foot forward, it may be to set you up to be set free from the situation. All right. Now that's between the person and God. I'm not speaking for God. I'm just telling you what I observed and what it looked like to me. All right. And in that situation, she was indeed set free. They were divorced. And then eventually she ended up finding somebody and they're good. And they've been good for a long time, to my knowledge. So bottom line is, though, for some people, you need something that's going to help you. It's unfortunate, but it's the reality. But it's still in itself a blessing. Hey, thank you for watching this video. Be sure to check this one out right here, and I'll see you there. Relationships are the key to a successful life. But there's 5 areas that we have to be mindful of when it comes to relationships. There's relationship with God, relationship with ourselves, relationship with family and friends,